Okay, so now we understand in basketball history, there's been fathers who have sons in the NBA. There's been fathers and sons at the same time in the NBA. And it's important for us to understand the difference between that and what we see in this climate today. Because we living in a time where they're trying to basically, minimalize the aspect of the role of the father. You feel what I'm saying? They're trying to diminish that and they're trying to poo-poo it. They glorifying the woman at every turn. And I'm not trying to disrespect the woman in any way. It's just all about the understanding of what we're seeing and the dynamic of this society in regards to the history. When we look at how the black man's been treated in regards to that alpha male role that he's supposed to play, it's minuscule. But at the same time, you still have bits and pieces of it in this silly ass world that we live in. So it just gives you a sense of, refreshness in regards to understanding what's pure and what's right morally. And so it's refreshing to see a so-called black man tell his son that you're going to be the best player in the NBA. You better than Steph Curry. You the best. Even though it's kind of like, crazy in regards to those assertions. But at the same time, as a father, you're supposed to tell your son that. You're supposed to pump your son up. We don't really get that in our community as it is. So when you see that, especially on a mainstream scale, they hate that. So that's why LeVar Ball was he was always ridiculed. People always laughed at him, this and that, but he didn't care because he's a masculine man. He's an alpha male and he don't give a fuck about people's opinions or their approval. He's his own man and they don't like that. That's why LeVar Ball is always looked at in a certain way in regards to polarization and scrutiny. But at the same time, LeVar Ball is a great father because he was able to get his sons in the NBA. And even with LiAngelo Ball, he had a tryout for the Pistons. So LeVar Ball is doing a great job. And they see that. So subconsciously, they appreciate that, but they don't want to show it. They want to try to laugh at him and try to make him seem like he a clown. But at the end of the day, he did what he needed to do. He took care of his business as a father, as a so-called black man. Now, we know that he has ties to certain, esoteric leanings, but at the same time, it's still a great thing when you're able to train your sons up because that's what he did. He trained his sons up. He taught them the ins and outs of the game. He disciplined them. They grew up in an affluent household, but they still took on the understanding of hard work and discipline and understanding the appreciation of that, the value of that. So you can excel in this life. That's the role of the father, to discipline his son and teach his son how to hold himself accountable, understanding that this world is going to, be against you for the most part in regards to the so-called black man teaching his son and telling him the truth about this world in regards to the understanding of history, indoctrination when you go to school, so on and so forth, giving him the real skinny so he can be prepared. Now, in the case of LeVar Ball, I'm not sure what he's teaching his sons, but at the same time, he taught his sons in regards to their craft to the best of their ability, and they were able to make it to the NBA. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So congratulations to LeVar Ball. Kudos to him, man. For real.
So, LeVar, thank you so much for doing this. My first question to you is, where did that moment rank? Seeing two of your sons out there, first regulation game against each other, where did that rank in terms of your proudest moments of being a father?
My rankings? I don't have no rankings. There's no doubt. I'm proud all the time. So it ain't no, that's number 10, that's number 5. I ain't got no rankings. I'm always proud.
What was it like to watch them play?
No different. Here's the thing. You guys are the ones on the outside that say, wow, they get to match up and I get to see them go against each other. No, I grew them to play together. So that's just a little teaser for y'all to say, when all three of them get on the same team, that's when the show is I'm trying to see. That's right.
And you see, he said he groomed them. And I like that. I like how you answered the first question in regards to him saying that he had no proud moments. He proud every time. And that's how a father is supposed to be. Proud all the time in regards to the positive aspects of what your son is going through, whether it be in the NBA or school or, if he's getting straight A's, he's doing his thing in regards to grooming his sons and continue to groom his sons.
This is nothing. It's like, okay, go ahead and play.
So here's a question. Did that matchup compare in intensity to the infamous backyard matchups that we've heard about throughout the years?
Well, and here's the thing. Everybody has a story supposed to be the infamous matchups in the backyard. But see, I would have had the older guys come over and play against my three boys that was like 5 and 6 years younger, so they was always on the same team. And then when we only had two people, I had same team. Because now it's the two younger ones against the one older. But yeah, it wasn't.
And that's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? So you can make it even. Because when you got kids, especially in so-called black household, you know how to like ease your kid's mind in regards to understanding what they like and what they don't like and what ticks them off and what don't tick them off. And as a kid, it's something that you notice in regards to your son. You know what I mean? Whether you have a son or a nephew, so on and so forth, you understand certain things that you can do in order for you to aid in their understanding or their comfort in regards to what they don't like or what they like. So in this case, he teamed his youngest sons up because he probably understood that LaMelo, being the youngest, was probably not gonna like accept that, or he probably would have been pouty to a degree, because you know how young kids are sometimes, and when they don't get their way.
I understand because the coaching is different. That's why I can't get to see their full effect.
Because you're not out there with them anymore?
Man, not even that they're not out there. It's just a style of play. They're up and down. They like to go. It's a lot of half-court stuff, man, where, like I said, Melo will take the ball out quick and don't have nobody to throw it to all the way down there. Lonzo will do the same thing. But, man, when they play together. When they take that ball out, it's going all the way to the other end.
And Lonzo is, he's developing. Like he's slowly but surely showing, what he can bring to the table in regards to his talents. He's maximizing, but it's incrementally. You feel what I'm saying? But you can tell that Lonzo Ball, he's gonna be something in the NBA. He's gonna be something in the NBA. He remind me of Jason Kidd. It took some time for Jason Kidd to truly flourish. And I think that's going to be the same thing for Lonzo. Now, in the case of LaMelo, I see him flourishing a little bit quicker, just based off of his ability to, to get by as far as his quickness. He's tall. He can pass it just like Lonzo. He can shoot a little bit better than Lonzo, I believe. But Lonzo, over the course of I would say 2 years, he'd been able to really change his jump shot to a positive effect. So I feel like these, they're going to be good, man. They're going to be good. Potential all-stars. You never know, man. And Lonzo is in a good situation being with the Pelicans. I hope that he re-up with them in the summer, because him, Zion, and Ingram, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. They're really young. They're going to be a problem.
Speaking of coaching, what was your assessment of both of their play tonight? Obviously, LaMelo was 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Lonzo's team ended up losing. How would you describe both of their performances?
Both of their performances, I know it's not going to be up to my standard on the fact that they're not playing the style that I thought, which is that up and down pace, getting that ball in and out, and just playing balls out.
I mean, to a degree, you kind of see that with Charlotte. Like, they play with that fast pace. LaMelo Ball like to get it out, and you could tell he gonna be a problem, man, especially with his versatility. The man almost had a triple-double, and he really young. Dude is 19, 20? LaMelo Ball gonna be a problem in the league, man. I feel like he's gonna flourish quicker because he's taller, he's more agile. I would say he's a little bit more quicker than Lonzo. Even though Lonzo is quick, he can get to the cup. Lonzo can defend a little bit better than LaMelo, but that's gonna take some time for LaMelo. He ain't even developed his real strength yet. You know what I mean?
You can't do that. These guys don't have the confidence in that, so that's why it's gonna be hard. This game for the NBA, if you want to be really successful, you gotta run. You gotta get up and down. That's why you're going to get stuck. And it's just hard watching them play like that. Because, like I said, right now, our boys, as they say, when you get to the NBA, the speed of the game changes. Well, my boys are the only ones who got to slow down when they get to the NBA.
So you don't think their game has really been showcased yet?
Well, man, come on, man. 5, 6 points, 2 rebounds, Melo, 12 points, almost a triple-double. Folks are like, look, every time I coach them, triple doubles, 30-something points, 15 assists, 19 rebounds. Lonzo the same, because we go on. But they ain't nobody tapped into their real stuff yet. That's what I'm saying. When all three of them get on the same team, some coach is going to be smart enough to let them do what they do, which is win and outrun everybody.
So let me ask you this. Lonzo's first 2 seasons in the league, you were extremely vocal. You've been a little less vocal recently. How come?
You've been less vocal on the fact that COVID. Wasn't no COVID last time. Everybody quiet. Where can I go? You can't go in the arenas. You can't travel, you can't go to a restaurant, you can't do nothing. So everybody gonna be quiet. So it's not even about me being quiet. It's already I spoke my piece. I know what it is. So it's not even about that. Now see, hey, the fact that all these outlets, look how I'm talking to you on the podcast, on the Zoom. Because can't nobody run up on me no more and put that microphone in my face. You say, I'll be quiet. You know, so you can't catch me out. I'm at home. You can't go up.
Yo, LeVar is crazy, man. But man, shout out to LeVar, man. Kudos to him for grooming his children, raising them up the proper way, you know, in regards to the surface level, because he's probably teaching them things behind the scenes in regards to masonry and so on and so forth. But that's not what this video is about. It's just all about the appreciation of the so-called black father and being able to groom his children and maximizing off of what he had, you know, prognosticated for them. You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing. Now, LiAngelo is not in the NBA, but I'm sure he'll make it soon. But it's a beautiful thing nonetheless that he's able to maximize off of what he prognosticated for them. Okay, so I wanted to go into the book of Ecclesiasticus, aka Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 5. Start at verse 5, where it says, "Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children, and when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. He that honoreth his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother. He that feareth the Lord will honor his father, and will do service unto his parents, as to his masters. Honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of the children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations." And what's the curse of the mother? The deception, you know, being beguiled by the serpent in regards to, you know, what the curse was for Eve. You feel what I'm saying? Being able to be prone to deception. And when you take the father out the household, you leave the kid under the rulership of the mother, and he basically takes on the aspect of the woman. And, you know, he goes out in the world and he doesn't understand accountability. He ingratiates himself with gangs, and he doesn't really understand how to, you know, maintain a certain a certain understanding of stabilization when it comes to mental stability. So that's what it is, and that's what you see in regards to these households, in regards to the so-called dynamic in the so-called black community. Now, I'm not diminishing the role of the mother in regards to certain aspects where you have the mother teaching the son, and he goes on to be a great, you know, a great kid, and a great young man, and he enters into the world and he understands how to maintain a certain level of stability. He knows how to hold himself accountable. So I'm not saying that you always get that, but for the most part, that's what you see. So that's why the role of the father is important. And the higher ups knew that. That's why they took the father out the household, and they brought more power unto the woman. But reading on in verse 10, where it says, "Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee." So don't glory in when you disobey your father or you dishonor him in a certain way where you understand that it's going to be shame as far as how he looks at you with whatever you do in regards to your deeds or your mishaps. It's important for you to understand the value of your father's opinion or your father's judgment. You feel what I'm saying? Because your father is basically an extension of the Heavenly Father. You know what I mean? A fleshly extension of the Heavenly Father. Our Father in the heavens, we obey just like we obey our Father in the flesh, just like it says in the book of Deuteronomy. I believe that's chapter 8 and verse 5. So it's important for us to understand. And I thank you guys for supporting the channel. God bless you all. Peace. Shalom.